Hello, and we're live. Welcome, Montgomery. So we have survived fires, tornadoes, world-ending scenarios, and we have an election coming up. It's good to see all of you. And we have our guest, Ronald, Cam, and a new guest, Maggie. Say hello.
Hi.
And Ariana, thank you for coming back. And our friend Alex. He's not saying hi, he's being a little shy. So, we have a few announcements. Right now, I'm not sure if you guys can hear me through the mask, but we now have a sponsor. And we're going to be sponsored by the Game Exchange on Atlanta Highway. So we're going to be shooting shows over there once a month, and we're going to try to bring more content to you guys. Let us know what you think on Instagram and Facebook on topics that we should talk about. Now, we're all here to talk about Naruto, the one show I missed out on during my childhood. Now, from what I've read and what I've looked up, it was written by Masaki Kishimoto. Masashi. Thank you, Alex. It was published in 1999 by Sushui. Thank you, Cam. Their 43rd issue of Shonen Jump in Japan. It was then produced by Viz Media, translated to English in American Shonen Jump in 2002. It was produced and shown across America in 2005, September 10th, on Toonami.
Now, I'm glad we're actually talking about Naruto, whatever you want to call it. I'm glad we're talking about it because it's the only anime show I watched. I didn't get into anime until out of high school, so it was the only thing I watched.
You and I have something in common.
I was always allowed to watch as a kid.
Naruto?
Yeah, that and One Piece, that was it.
But see, those are great things to
I
watch,
know,
though.
I used to feel so hindered, but now I was so blessed to always watch Naruto.
Yeah.
No. And your parents...
Good moral compass, too.
I grew up on DBZ and
I was about to say the
Bebop.
same thing. I was always with the main stuff that always happened on Toonami. It was Naruto and it was
Dragon Ball.
Inuyasha, Dragon Ball, all that extra. That's where my love came from.
Well, for me personally, Naruto was one that I knew of at the age of 10 when it came out in 2005 on Toonami. So I knew a bit of it from the age of 10 to 12 mostly, but not a whole lot. It wasn't until 2012 that I really kind of got into it, and then 2013 I became freaking obsessed with it.
So let me ask you this, guys, and you too, Alex, because I know you can answer this. When was the first time you really started watching Naruto? I was vaguely aware of it during my middle school years. Everyone had Shonen Jump magazines. They had Jessica, our best friend, had an issue out every week. I knew what it was, but I did not watch it.
Probably when it first aired on Toonami way back when.
My brother-in-law's 16th birthday party was Naruto themed, and that's where I was like, what is this show? And he got a game, he got the shirt, it was all Naruto themed, so I really had to research the whole Naruto theme to be able to throw a Naruto themed birthday
That
party.
is a sweet 16.
Wow.
It was pretty great. Cake and all.
Wait, did they do the run?
They did. I wish I still had the video. I used to have it.
And this is why I'm happy the majority of my life is not maybe on MySpace, but just not on the internet in general.
My life was about to be majority MySpace until somebody's like, you should try Facebook. I said, what the hell is Facebook? You know how hard it was to retry to find all my friends? I was like, is everybody here? Am I the last one to join? I'm like, but my music though.
I didn't know MySpace existed until 4 years ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
See, I grew up on MySpace.
Okay, so real quick, how old is everybody? I am 24 going on 25.
Still 24.
26.
22.
25.
So I'm the oldest at 28. So.
Okay, alright. It makes sense that you wouldn't know that.
Yeah. Facebook came around before, because you had to be 13 to join, and I was.
Oh, we all lied about that.
Oh, everyone
Yes.
did. And I'm pretty sure I was the only one who would get grounded for it.
I want to say I was 17 when
I was right at the age where I didn't have to lie about it. I think I was going into my freshman year of high school.
I was 12 years old when I found out about it. All my friends were like, "You gotta get on." I was like, "Sweet, age restriction, got it." I worked my way through.
I didn't even have to lie about mine. We just had like one computer when I was growing up, so I just had to immediately log out and then delete all the history. It was like, no, I wasn't real MySpace.
My parents didn't care.
Yeah. Can you guys can we take a moment to appreciate a time in our lives where before phones, we all had to get on a main computer, and it was usually a parent's computer, and we just had to do whatever we were doing. YouTube before it was like monetized, MySpace, just going on.
Fun fact, kids, YouTube was originally what TikTok is today, just mindless videos that were no longer than 2 minutes.
Yes. Oh my god.
I remember dial-up. That's
Oh.
how.
Remember AOL?
Yes.
I remember Fred.
Oh my god.
But that was during the first wave of
First
video.
off, we do not say Fred Figglehorn's name without any respect.
We didn't say his last name. You did that.
Yes. We put respect on Fred Figglehorn's name.
Hey, I like the classic Fred, you know.
Yeah, not the movie.
Like when he
Oh, those are interesting.
around 2010 when he started getting extras in his video, it just lost it for me.
Yeah, I agree.
It was
Everybody started being extra.
it was at its
Smosh,
it was
Nick
at
and
its
Alec,
funniest.
all my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah.
It was at its funniest when it was just him holding a camera doing that high pitched voice, and that was it.
Good
I
time.
know that had to hurt his album.
But anyway,
I know.
let's get
Back
back
to
on topic.
Naruto.
Sorry about the tangent.
Yeah.
If I'm on this, always featured. You know how I am.
Yeah, let's try to stay on topic.
So I would have to say, I wasn't watching Naruto, the original show, when it was airing. I believe it was during like maybe the last 50 episodes of filler were just airing at the time, and
Get ready
I was
for
visiting
that.
a friend, and they were watching the marathon.
Yes.
Tsunami was just getting a marathon. No idea what this was, and of course, my first episode was literally Lee versus Gaara, which was cool.
Dude.
That's a
Which
nice
was
segue.
amazing,
Dude.
but I wasn't emotionally attached to these characters.
Okay, so
I-
like what
I
happened?
just thought it was okay. This is fun. This is cool, and little by little, I'm watching the character Naruto, and I'm like, okay, he's the main guy. And the episode where I finally got hooked with him was I was marathoning that, and it got to the him versus Neji fight.
Oh my god.
And I believe it's the last episode of that fight where a failure's true power. That's the name of the episode. And after that, I grew up with Rocky being one of the best underdog stories of all time. So obviously that right there, it hooked me. And from then on, I had to watch them. I marathoned that, and then I finally caught up weekly, and I was introduced to something called filler episodes.
So that was your first encounter with the
Yes.
Philly.
That was just like, I remember when I was like getting caught up on Naruto, and when I got to all that filler, I was just like,
I was very confused.
I was just like, okay, you know, I was just like, I just can't do this right now. So I just did a Cliff Notes bit right there. Tried to go on to part 2 because this was well into 2014 right there. And there was just more filler. Just all filler. In fact, a bit of trivia for you. In 2015, we had 8 canon episodes of Naruto throughout that whole year. 8 throughout the whole year.
That
No,
makes sense.
now what I want to say.
Here, let me interrupt for just a second.
Yeah.
I saw a comment saying that the whole war in Shippuden took 3 days, but it was over 200 episodes.
Yes, and rewatching that has made me realize, like, wow, is this even
So-
enough to call a war?
So let's do
I
the
mean, think
So,
about it.
give me
America's
1 minute
fought
while I
wars
do the
that took
math on that.
forever, and it was only over like one thing:
Okay, so
oil, money, greed. Shoot, somebody shot somebody else.
Well,
Like, this could have been settled real quick, guys.
Right.
Get everyone in our test.
Shoot, look at Native Americans. We didn't even do anything. We all got killed for it. Like,
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
nice
hey.
land you got there. Be ashamed if someone took it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Also,
here's some blankets real
Yeah.
quick. Like, no. good.
We're just gonna teach you how to survive over here.
I think
Harvest
Alex
corn and all
wants to say
that.
something.
Oh, sorry.
So basically, you said that there was like 200 episodes of a 3-day war.
Yeah, so ship it out.
Well, I just did the math there, and so 200 episodes would be of Naruto would be about 100 hours. So in a sense, yeah, that's
Over 3 days.
that's over 3 days, but in a
Wow.
sense, that is kind of factual almost if you count like maybe
I
a
mean,
fourth
then you
day.
gotta calculate and sleep. No one can stay up for 100 hours straight.
I know, but I'm just saying it's kind of funny when
I
you.
will give you that,
it's-
but I was watching it weekly, my
It's
friend.
just I know it's just kind of funny when you think about it in another perspective. Like, it's all the episodes are like here on the table right now, so that's like 100 hours. So that basically is like a little over 3 days or 4 days.
I think it was in 2014 they announced the last movie, which I was going to watch because it was actually canon. It takes place, I believe, right before the final episodes of Shippuden.
It takes place right before.
And I was like, okay, so they're getting ready to wrap this up. No, I don't read manga, and I didn't read Naruto. They're getting ready to wrap up. 2014. Fast forward to 2016, which it's finally, I think, ended. And I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before. If not, I'm a movie guy. I need a beginning, middle, and end. I don't do TV. I just don't like a continuation for no reason.
You felt like you were slided.
So I was just ready for a conclusion of some sort.
And
Finally, when it somewhat did,
you
I
don't really
think it
get
was
that.
like 2 weeks out before the show was ending. You get something called Boruto, which hit me out of left field.
See, Boruto is like a modern day Titanic. I'm just, I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, fuck, just sink already.
I
wanna
know it's only been 3
You
weeks
want
or
to
so.
know the irony about Boruto though?
Mm-hmm.
When it first released, a lot of people actually thought it was pretty great because it felt like there was a lot of nostalgia there because it kind of made you feel like
I didn't feel it.
No, I
No.
know.
Like
The
the,
only reason I watched it just to see who had a baby with who. That's
Look,
why.
I'm
And
just
then some of the
You're
parents.
like, I knew
was
it.
like,
Called it.
What now?
I want to know more
I'm
about
just-
Toki's wife.
I'm just quoting what a reviewer said though, but basically what he said, it's like kicking a dead horse and everything, and then it just finally gets back up and starts jumping and everything, and then it just dies again, basically.
I just want to see what Sai was like in bed. I'm like, I know you didn't settle for that girl. What you do? How you can't have
You
this
have
smiling at
Ito,
you all the
and then you have
time.
Sai,
He called her. Sai called Ito beautiful. Remember?
Yeah, but
To him,
that's
a rock
not.
is beautiful. Like, my dude has no
It's
emotions.
not just the boulder, it's the
Really?
rock.
Yeah.
At least he's played by Benjamin Diskin. I mean, look, one thing I will give Boruto is that they at least got a good English dub cast for some of the characters as I got older. Like they got Max freaking Middleman to play Konohamaru.
Boruto would have been good, and I'm not saying it is. If it isn't, that I know some of you enjoyed it. But if the main character was, Sasuke's daughter,
Yes.
she's 10 times more interesting. Or if
And
both of them combined.
And she's played by Shirmi Lei.
his little sister, Himari, I can't say her name, but
Himawari.
Himawari. Honestly, any female character would have been better because Boruto is very one note. He's already somewhat more intelligent than his father. He's very talented.
And there's
It
just
is
no.
I don't feel the struggle there. I don't feel I relate.
I feel it's like a little repetitive because Boruto started out the same way Naruto started out. Like one goal, I want to be Hokage, and the other one, I just want to be better than my father. Like,
Yes.
come on now, because it's a different goal. Like, come on now.
However,
Yeah, but really,
I do recommend the tuning exam arc again. I do recommend that, and it's actually better than I believe they made the movie, the Boruto movie, which is literally just
There's a
that.
movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a
I
movie.
Yeah.
don't know either.
How many
I saw
seasons
it.
are Boruto? I didn't even
So
know.
that is literally just the tuning exam. So it's like a prequel.
Yeah.
And during the show, it fleshes out that movie more.
Mm.
Like it has. So it's instead of I believe it's an hour and a half. It dedicates at least 6 episodes to it,
So the only two
and
arcs
it's much more
of
entertaining.
Boruto I could recommend are the tunings and when they go back in time to original Naruto and he sees his dad as a young kid.
So basically, canon episodes are enjoyable.
Hey.
But I think I've finally given up since 95% of it is filler.
Yeah, well, I've at least seen a few clips of that time travel one where Boruto went back to meet Naruto and everybody from part 1. I will say they did miss out on some interesting dialogue they could have said, like I don't know, there was this one bit where Naruto let Boruto sleep over there, and not knowing that's his own son from the future, and Naruto asks Boruto, "Where's your father?" I think Boruto could have just said something like, "Closer than you think."
Just dialogue
That was a very
choices.
emotional one for me. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hey, well, look, see, when he met like Neji again, right? When he met Neji right there, knowing that's his dead uncle from the past, I'm like, damn, that's some
Those
emotional
episodes
stuff.
played with my heart.
I think in a parody it would have been funny if he just looked up. I was like, "Where's your dad?"
Damn.
This is pretty character.
I don't know. That does remind me of something that what could on like one of those what could have been scenarios there.
Mhm.
I mean, Naruto grew up like without his parents because they were dead, and
That old tale.
Right?
yeah, but I don't know. After
And
so,
Yasha.
there was one bit in a filler arc from like 2013 that I really think could have like, or no wait, let me rephrase that. There was this filler arc that was during like the Kakashi Anbu filler arc from 2013.
That was not filler. Okay, I enjoyed
Is
that.
that the
thoroughly.
one with Obito?
Yes.
No, that's not Obi.
No, this is after when he's a bit.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, this is
when he's a bit older.
this is basically Kakashi's life after Minato's death right here. Okay, so
Maybe.
okay, so in that filler arc, we do get a little bit of an extended scene after Naruto's parents' deaths right there. And we find out that Kushina, his mother, actually survived a few minutes to when the third Hokage got there. And then she, in her dying words, she says to Hiruzen, or the third Hokage, I don't know his name, so I just always call him the third. She tells him in her dying words, "Please look after my son, take care of him," and then dies literally right there in front of him.
That's why exactly he abandoned him.
And that's why he exactly abandoned him. Like literally, he when Naruto was like maybe 5 or 7, he just leaves him in that crappy apartment that he's always lived in, and then he just hands him an envelope of money saying, "Here's the money for this month. Don't waste it." And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Oh my
He
god,
could've-
this sounds like Goku.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what I'm saying is the ironic thing is that Naruto has always been a character who acted mature and everything, and played pranks and all that, tried to get attention. You could argue mostly because he was an orphan who wasn't taught any discipline or anything. When the third Hokage could have been like a grandfather figure to him. And he was.
It's kind of hard to be a grandfather figure and run an entire village all at once.
Well, he was
half the time causing the trouble.
Well, he was already a grandfather figure, kind of, to his grandson, his real grandson Konohamaru, right?
That's the
But
difference.
that's
his
the thing.
real
That's his
grandson.
real grandson.
It's like if you have got married and there's a stepchild, you're gonna feel a type of way about that stepchild because it's not your blood, but
Well-
you still love them.
That and you're running a kingdom.
Yeah.
It's just like
I don't know, just the way
I get what you're saying.
And what I'm saying is one thing that would probably make him feel obligated for that was that the fourth Hokage's wife, in her dying words, asked that.
Okay, that is
so
a fair.
That's what I'm saying. And to top it off, the third and Minato actually worked well together.
And that's where I go with, I think television has, or even manga at this point, the writing is going to be convoluted, especially if it's going to be that long.
It got
over my shoulder.
it got really convoluted when they
way.
it got really convoluted when they introduced like Kakashi's past and a whole lot of other things, especially when like Obito got.
You mean Toby? When he talked like this for some reason?
I don't really consider them the same person in a few ways because Toby's stupid. I like to think of Obito, who was basically like the Anakin Skywalker of this show in a few ways, turning into Darth Vader.
I totally agree with that.
So yeah, basically you could argue Mamoru Uchiha was the Emperor, while Obito was Anakin Skywalker, and then Naruto is Luke Skywalker. Well, Star Wars and Naruto have a lot in common.
That being said, can we get some words from Ari, Maggie, and Cam? Because I feel like we kind
Yeah,
of
I know.
traveled.
I
I'm
was
just so
letting-
into it,
I
I'm
was-
just
I was just
absorbing
letting him
everything.
finish.
It's just so like
I'm listening,
it's such
so-
a heated conversation.
Yes,
I'm just like
okay.
so into everything.
Yeah,
It's hard to
in
just
the grand
overstate
scheme of
what
things,
is-
That's what it is.
In
Right.
hindsight, it's just
I'm a great
it's
listener. That's
good.
what
In
I
hindsight, it's a really good show. But if I were to recommend someone watching it, I would just give them here. This is a list of episodes. Watch this, and then that's it. Because you'll get a concisive story, and the major players who are really in it. Like I know there are some great fillers, and then there's some great canon ones that are just like not so great that I would replace those.
You know
And
how
some
many
very
episodes you would
much-
have to go through
Yeah.
just for the great fillers to give to
At
somebody?
the end of the day, it's very much like that's the one thing I would say I love about this medium is that we can all watch the same show and we can all have different favorite episodes.
Mhm.
And
Or different perspectives on those
that,
episodes.
that too. That
But
too.
not so much that we're just about to fight. That would be a problem.
Well, come on. There's always been favorite episodes that
And moments specifically.
and moments that
Yeah.
aren't fights. Like one I can highly recommend to anybody would be episode 311, which
The
was
fact that you remember the number.
yes, because yes, I do remember this one because it was kind of special, and you could consider it filler, but it was written by Kishimoto himself, and it was a prequel to the Road to Ninja movie, which was actually
Now that
excellent.
one-
Yeah.
That
like-
one I consider somewhat
what-
canon.
Well, I can't. As much as I love Road to Ninja because of the premise and everything,
Mhm.
I personally can't consider it canon because what point in the timeline would this have happened? Because it takes place after the episodes where, okay, well, to be
I
clear,
believe the war
well,
restarted at that point.
Yeah.
kinda like to be clear. Naruto first met Minato in the Pain Invasion arc, and then another arc later, right before the Fourth Great Ninja War, or during the Fourth Great Ninja War, that was when he met Kushina and got the whole
We're doing her point.
Which,
And
by
then-
the way, is
and-
literally the most emotional scene
Yeah,
for
yes.
me.
Yeah.
Well, that was where he finally learned the whole truth about the day that the Nine Tails attacked the village and everything. So, Road to Ninja would have taken place after that moment, but after that moment, Naruto never went back to the Leaf Village.
No.
And he went on to go fight the war with everybody else. So in this movie, it's taken place just in the Hidden Leaf Village after all that. So what point in the timeline where would this happen? So that's why I can't consider it canon.
Yeah.
But what I do love most about it is how much they give a flipped version of the entire Naruto narrative, where he's sent to an alternate universe where everything you know about the story and its canon is reversed. Where Naruto's parents didn't die in the Nine Tails attack.
God, that one hit me
And
hard.
instead, it was actually Sakura's parents who died
And was Hokage.
and was Hokage. And literally, just not just were characters' identities flipped right there, and their personalities. A few small things that might go over some people's heads, were also flipped as well. Like,
You mean Lee?
yeah, well, let's not bring that up because that Lee makes me want to take a shower. Anyway, what I'm saying is in Road to Ninja, we find out so like I said before, Sakura's parents are the ones who are dead and were Hokage and were the heroes of the village right there. But all the villagers treat Sakura like royalty right there, like they give her food, they ask her for advice, and just treat her perfectly. And what I just find interesting about that is compared to Naruto, his parents were like heroes of the village, but since he had the Nine Tails inside of him like that, everybody just treated him poorly. I don't know. That's just one detail I always thought was kind of interesting in its own way.
Well, if you dwell deeper into that, you can do like a boy versus girl thing, but that's a huge argument you don't even want to get into.
No, I don't.
Like at all. You're gonna end up right on the side of Me Too right there. Don't do that.
No, I don't think it has to do with gender at all. I think it has more to do with just basically what he said. Just
Yeah, like
he had the whole Nine Tails thing going in him.
You know, the same thing that literally destroyed everywhere I live and whatnot.
Yeah, and everything was flipped. I wasn't trying to get into that argument.
No. She
I was
just
just
meant
saying.
that as like fun banter.
Usually we turn into that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, let's not turn this into anything
No.
political.
This is all fun.
I was just
Yeah.
saying this because I found it and I'm not saying anything is bad. I'm just saying it was interesting. Like literally, even like that part was flipped right there. But yeah, on a more fun note, though, let's just say every character we know and love's personality was definitely reversed as well, including my personal favorites being Playboy Sasuke and a ballistic Hinata, which honestly were definitely my favorite parts again
I
because
kind of forgot about that.
like seeing Sasuke as a player and Hinata as like this, I'm trying to use the right words here, but like
very, very
Like a Mexican bulldog, just like a go-getter.
well, she was more all bark, no bite, but I will say it was pretty funny. Like, this Hinata still loves Naruto, or in this world, he's known as Menma.
I really like that, the name change out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know why they would change that as well, but whatever. Anyway, or no, wait, actually, I think I know one reason why they did name change Naruto in this world. Naruto is actually a type of Japanese noodle or something like that in ramen. So
Actually, it's a little fish.
or the little fish stick or whatever. It's a type of food, okay? And that's where his parents got his name from, right there. And then there was one little scene in Road to Ninja where Naruto and Iruka Sensei were having some ramen right there. And like right before he and Sakura were transported to this world. And then he says, "There's not enough Naruto in my ramen. There's more Menma in here." And then, and I'm like, oh.
That was your aha moment.
Like, look, it's like one of those scenes where when you look back at it, you just notice it right there.
Oh, it's like Fight Club.
Yeah, you're just like,
It's exactly like Fight
So-
Club.
Nick,
But anyway,
but
but like-
to talk about Fight Club.
but anyway, back on what I was saying before about our favorite character switches. Like, let me just say, seeing Hinata get all mad at Sakura for being with Naruto right there together, I was like, damn.
There was a dilemma with Nata in that one, and it was, not really a fan of her character change, but it's the first time, I'm pretty sure, to the outside world, it doesn't sound like I'm watching porn for once. And either language, mind you. Either language.
Well, hey, look, I just...
It just sounded very gruff and,
Yes,
very
it's like,
masculine.
okay, we're watching a normal human being with a normal voice. Got it. Right, cool.
See, that's
Yeah.
kind of how I felt about Dragon Ball Z with all the screaming and stuff. I was just like, on one hand, I'm like, I should be ashamed of this, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
So that may remind me of like this video. That's not a video game, but it's a PC game that's called Naruto Online. Because I was playing that for at least about 2.5 years, if I'm not mistaken. And in there, they have like this event where you get to fight like the Nine Tails with everybody else that's playing. I'm mad because every time I try to fight with everybody else, I get hit one time and I die. I'm like, come on now.
Oh, that's me in Call of Duty today. And Halo.
And then that also explains, because I didn't remember Playboy Sasuke until he brought it up. I was like, that's what that character is. Why is he like that? Because as you go throughout the game, it gives you different characters that I think were also in the show.
Yeah.
So I saw one where it just had Sasuke had this cool clothes on. I was like, why does he look like that? He's never looked that cool in his life. Though less cool, more emo, like he's always been.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay. And then they have one where Eno was in a swimsuit. I'm like, all right. That's also something else. Like,
Wait, what kind of cool clothes was Sasuke in there? Are you talking about?
it's like
the collar shirt, t-shirt.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
no,
there's-
not that. It was the
there's
the different one. He had like a necklace on, like a
Oh yeah, well
t-shirt,
that was his
hair kind
character.
of slicked down. I'm like,
Well, that was
the
his character.
gel it must take for that hair.
That was his character design from Road
That's
to
right.
Ninja right
Yeah.
there.
That's right.
But hey, there is one thing. His hair still looks like a duck's ass.
I mean, you gotta
Oh.
just let him have that hairstyle. He has no arm. Come on now,
He has no what?
arm.
Never noticed.
Just like Sesshomaru, he has no arm. Come on.
Hey,
You
well,
gotta,
what?
you're just gonna give it to him.
Well, that's kind of the ironic thing is that Naruto had the option to get like a prosthetic arm made out of like that Zetsu material that white Zetsus were made out of right there. So that's how he was able to get his arm back. But Sasuke was like, "No, I'm not going to take it.
You
Bye
have to
bye."
remember he needs redemption.
No, think you. Well, here's my personal
Doesn't he
opinion.
always need something?
That's why he can't get the arm.
Well, here's my personal opinion. You kind of got a little bit of redemption, helping save the world, even though and he kind of did take the fall right
For
there.
the wrong reasons.
Mhm.
No, for the wrong reasons.
If
But
anything, I wish it was more like Hunter x Hunter, where he could just have the arm back with the bubble gum. That's it.
Bro,
That'll be-
what do you mean the bubble gum? I haven't
Remember
seen this.
whenever Hisoka got his arm chopped
Oh
off,
yeah, and then
and he just replaced it with his nen? I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was like,
no,
let me
he
lose
went
my
to the
arm.
surgeon and she. Did
Oh yeah,
that.
she stitched it up. But remember, he usually used like some type of patch that's his own power to do that.
But he was out of power at that episode. That's
Yeah,
why he had to go to the
Because
surgeon.
there's like two instances where you
And
see
she
him
had to
put
use her
someone-
nin power to stitch it up because
I thought
that's
that
why it
was
was such a
funny.
precision job. I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, that was funny though.
Now, Hunter x Hunter is one that I have not quite yet gotten into, and that's because I've heard so much controversy about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Either people absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it. So I'm kind of torn between.
See, I was kind of forced to watch that by my boyfriend, and I actually do like it now. But
It's
he was
good.
like, "You
I
gotta
love
watch
So-
this." And
I
I was
will
like,
watch it in
"Fine."
5 years when people are done talking about it, as well as my hero. opinion.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about it because I want to get into it because people say it's good, but then people are like, "You'll hate it," and I'm like, "Well, then I don't know how to feel."
If you want to know, Sam Arthur of Yu Yu Hakusho does Hunter x Hunter, so that's why I watched it. So.
Yeah.
I watched it because same reason as you. My ex was just like, "You need to watch this," and I was like, "Okay, I'll watch this, but you have to watch something."
That's
I
what
wanna
I
watch.
did too. I was like, if
And
I
we
watch
just
this,
we had
you
to
have
trade.
to watch.
We
you
had
have
to
to watch
trade. She had to
Avatar.
watch Hannibal Lecter, and she and I and I had to watch. And then after about like
I'll
6
give you that
episodes,
because it's Mad Nicholson.
Yeah,
and
thank
he's
you.
just
thank you,
Right.
love him.
thank you.
I
No,
made him
but
watch all of Avatar, and I was like, now you gotta watch all of Legend of Korra, just because he's never watched
I
all
still
of it.
not
So what's
watched
wrong
all
with
of
you?
Legend of Korra just because.
oh,
That's missing
started-
out.
I'm getting back into it right
Okay.
now. Like I'm
'Cause it's
into
on
it.
Netflix?
I'm getting into it now that it's on Netflix. But I rewatched all of Avatar. I think already 5 times over again
Mhm.
because it's just so amazing. And I already owned it all on DVD from years
Same,
ago.
same.
And of course, it had to be book 3 because book 3 was the best of all 3
Of
books.
course.
Mm-hmm.
I love Zuko. Zuko was like
Yes!
whenever people talk about
I hated
their
him in the
child,
beginning,
right?
and then-
I'm like Zuko's voice was the
Sexy.
best.
Why?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
was.
Can you believe what they did with that live action movie right
Oh
there?
my gosh, that was awful.
I never even saw it. I
We don't
skipped out
talk
because
about
I had
it.
a
We don't
feeling.
talk about
I had a
it.
feeling.
My grandmother, my aunt had not left her house in 10 years, and we finally convinced her and took her to that movie.
Yeah, she stayed inside for another
She
10.
stayed inside the movie
No.
theater with us, and I just thought the whole time, this is what we chose. I'm like, I thought this would be amazing. She wanted to take us to the movies. It was nice to get her out of the house.
My mom
This is
tried to
it.
take me to that. I said, no.
Never
I'd
again.
rather go inside for
I
a
tried
day.
watching it again.
We
I saw it in
I did.
theaters with some family, and they literally looked at me, and I was easily the biggest Avatar fan there. They looked at me and said, "We're gonna wait in the arcade for you." And we're all the same age, and one's even a little like 6-year-old. So cartoon stuff. No, he's like, "I'm gonna wait."
Yeah.
I had to stay through, and honestly, I'm really glad because now I can say that once I watched it, as I think I was like maybe 13, I can say, yep, that was bad.
So there's 2 movies we don't talk about. It's Avatar and Dragon Ball Evolution. We don't
Oh,
talk about those two.
I will give you this. I will much rather, maybe because I'm not attached to it, I would much rather watch Dragon Ball Evolution because I know I can watch it with friends, either sober or not, and have a great time, a great laugh. With Avatar, it's extremely slow.
So painful.
I-
So painful.
I was one of the few who saw Dragon Ball Evolution in the theater.
I saw it.
I didn't see that.
I saw it in theater.
No,
Me and my friend Dylan, we saw it opening day. Place was crowded.
Me and my
Everybody
brother.
was disappointed.
Well, like half the theater, like about 15 minutes into it, people started leaving, and I was like, no, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
I gotta
Doesn't
get popcorn
happen.
real quick.
Yeah, look,
And then it was just there were only 3 people left in the theater, about like halfway into the movie, and I'm like, it's like I know the part's gonna come. It's gonna get better. End credits, and then the after credit.
And then you feel like the crickets even left. Like, oh well. Time to
yeah,
get
well, one of those. The funny thing is, I didn't see it opening day, but I did see it with like my brother. Like,
oh god,
little
oh,
bit.
is that the reason why I quit anime? Was that the movie? Was that the stick that? Or, sorry, was that the match that broke the camel's back?
You just, I quit. Okay.
No, this was way back in 2009, and he didn't quit until like 2013 or
Okay.
You're telling me he didn't like the part in the beginning in the fight where he literally does like a weird headstand and slides over a freaking car?
Look, my
You
brother.
break dancing.
My brother was like 8 at the time, and I was like 13 at the time. So, look, we were going to the movies because we needed to do something on the weekend, and we decided to go see this. And literally, when we get there, the theater was basically empty because this was a few days after opening day, and
You found out why it was open.
I remember not hating on it like immediately like how everybody else did, but I do hate it with a passion to this day.
Yeah, me too.
But this was before I got that whole mentality, like if I hate something, I'm just going to be very, open about it, or just, start getting very,
Gonna be honest.
But back then I always tried to find the best out of things, but,
That was me.
I was pretty naive about it. But like I said, when I first saw it, I was comparing it a lot to like the original show and everything.
Oh, God.
Like I even remember
He's not Japanese.
I remember talking to my brother saying like even like Bulma and Yamcha's designs right there, like the way they made them, and Goku's hair. You know what really makes me sad, honestly, is that the star of it, Justin Chatwin, who played as Goku, actually had a pretty promising career. But I'm pretty
that was the thing that killed it.
This was honestly the movie that destroyed
a great young actor.
He played in
War of the
War of the Worlds and
Invisible.
The Invisible, which is a very great underrated movie that I think. But
I own it on DVD. It's somewhere.
yeah, like I'm
In
saying,
a $5
it makes me sad when terrible adaptations like this ruin a promising person's career.
I mean,
All I
if you think about it, Mortal Kombat also had a live action movie.
I will fight against the 95 film. That is an amazing good time.
95 is
Second
good.
one,
Yeah,
I
it's
will
good.
be
Terrible.
pissed off.
Yeah, but there's a difference between movies that are like fun, stupid, and then like Dragon Ball
They're
Evolution,
just bad.
stupid,
They're just-
stupid.
It's cringeworthy.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. All I can say is like one actor who didn't get their career ruined with Dragon Ball Evolution was James Marsden.
Yeah.
He went on to play in Westworld 10
And
years later.
He was also Goku Black in Super.
Are you for real?
Wait, okay, whoa, he got a part in that?
No, never mind. Yeah, he was Zamasu. So
Okay, I was about to say,
he was
yo,
Zamasu.
I feel like I would have picked up on that.
Yeah, never mind. He was Zamasu, and then
But wait, James Marsden from Westworld was in that?
yeah,
Damn.
yeah, he was. He was Zamasu.
Now I need to go back and watch.
After this is over, I'll play a clip.
No,
I'll let
maybe.
y'all hear.
See, if anything, okay, so
I see
with
that.
Avatar, the live action movie, I know we don't talk about that. I understand why they had like the mishaps and everything with the name. Because technically in Japanese, when you do like Ong's name, because the vowels is I, E, U, O, is literally an That's what I'm saying. It's like that. I would understand if it was like from Japanese descent. They're mostly on the Chinese side, so I don't understand why they put that as that in there. I don't know how you misread that.
I tried to force myself to watch that movie again, I think like a month ago, and I couldn't do it.
I
I
know.
absolutely couldn't do it. And then I think I finally got through it all, and I realized it was only book one, and I was like, that's it. And I'm like seeing the ending all over again because I tried so hard to get it out of my brain, and then I was just like, that was the ending? That's it? I'm like, this is terrible.
Maybe if I was drunk, I would watch it again.
I
but
think-
I would
I
never
think
do
when-
it.
I don't know. I could have been. I can't remember.
I think one thing that a lot of people tend to forget about the live action Last Airbender is that it was directed by M. Night Shyamalan, you know?
Okay, so
I did not know that.
I
His
will,
twist is the
I will-
it's bad.
I will
I
say
didn't know
something.
M. Night Shyamalan was.
What is we?
Okay.
I will say something about M. Night. I have somewhere been on record. So I've had my own podcast since I was like maybe in high school.
Mhm.
I will say something. I have been on record of stating that he is like, I literally hated this man for ruining this. However, as I've gotten older, I've realized, especially I think the one that really tipped me off was the Amazing Spider-Man series, which was
Wait
directed,
Oh, continue.
the Amazing Spider-Man series, I believe, was directed by Mark Webb.
Mark Webb.
And that was probably the one that tipped me off, and I looked more into it and realized that these big companies, I think Paramount is the owner of the movie rights to Avatar, I don't know if they still are, but studios do this, where they hire an indie director, an independent director, someone small like M. Night or Mark Webb, and say, we're going to offer you a bunch of money. Who wouldn't take that? Also, your name, because up at that point, even though your movies have made a lot of success and money, you haven't been seen as like, that's not your Lord of the Rings, your Jurassic Park, you know, your Terminators. This is going to cement you forever. And sadly, you got people like Sony, Paramount, and in some cases even the early Marvel.
I don't think M.
Don't
Night
forget
Shyamalan.
Disney.
And Disney, basically.
I don't-
So
Hey now.
I would say in that case they got this guy and they were like, hey, we're gonna make this movie ABC, and like, okay, cool, that's what I'm gonna make. And then they served him up XWYZ.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I think they dropped the ball in terms of that strategy, getting M. Night Shyamalan's name on there, because, you know, at the time, this was 2010, mind you, and this was back during a time when, you know, Shyamalan was, like, infamous for some pretty terrible movies that, you know, that start off strong but drop the ball in terms of their plot twists and everything. Because that's, you know, that's M. Night Shyamalan's trademark as a director. He always likes to include a twist ending in his movies.
What
Now-
a beast.
Yeah. Now,
As Adult Swim loves to point out.
yeah.
What a
But
beast.
look, let me give credit where it is due. I think that Shyamalan, 5 years later, after The Last Airbender tragedy, did find his ways again. Because he started off slowly with The Visit, which, if you can just endure, you actually get a pretty good climax at the end of that.
But you never look
That's
at
a
your
good movie.
grandparents the same.
Yeah, and then he moved on to make the excellent Split right there,
Yeah.
That was a good
and then
That was
and then went on to make the, in my opinion, underappreciated Glass.
I have some issues with that.
Okay,
But yes, I understand those who enjoy it.
Okay, so like I said, at the time he was pretty much infamous for making bad movies that, you know, start off interesting but drop the ball.
Here's the thing with that, and I will fight you on that. Well, not fight you, but I'll just say is that movies are made, at least, especially at the time. Now it's different. They try to bump these out, make it in a year, or well, not make it in a year, the year prior, and then the next, literally 7 months, it's like the movie's out. And you can tell in some movies, some Marvel sometimes, that the CG isn't that well. Usually heavy effects movies, visual effects. So at the time, I want to say that movie went into, and I know this because I was a big Avatar fan. So the second I read in the forums online in my computer class, that's the only time I could go on the internet, was, oh my god, they're making an Avatar movie, was before season 3 even ended. So that's maybe The Happening had just recently come out, so they already hired this
No,
guy.
the Happening came out in 2004.
I could have sworn it was in
Okay,
2007. But
Okay, no.
Yeah, it was 2007 because I remember
No,
that
it-
year in Blockbuster. I was
No,
just
it
like,
came out.
yo.
It came out.
Wait.
we have our fact.
Yeah, wait. Young Jamie, pull that shit up. Pull that shit up right now.
I know for a fact The Village came out before
2008.
2006.
Okay, so see, The Happening came out.
Thank you, Maggie.
You're welcome.
No, how How could the Village come out in like
The Village came out either 2004 or 2005.
Yeah, that's
That
what
was
I'm talking about.
2004.
That's
you
what I'm
said
talking about.
wait, what?
The
I was-
Happening.
I was
The
saying,
Happening. You said the
The Village
Happening.
is 2004.
Which
Yeah.
okay, I got those two mixed
Yeah,
up.
okay.
Look, The Happening came out in 2006. The Village came out in about 2004. Now,
No, Happening's 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
We just
Oh.
had it back then. So
okay, 2008. My bad.
Middle of season 3 of Avatar. There, you're already hired from this guy doing pre-production and writing and all that good stuff. And I believe the creators have already stated that like we're not a part of this. He's showing some stuff to us. He's talking to us, but we have no affiliation with this.
I feel like I've heard somewhere that they're trying to redo the Avatar movies or something.
Yes.
I have not.
Well,
I
actually-
heard that because I saw
No,
that.
actually, they're going for the TV series route.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they-
really? Like
maybe.
live action TV series?
Which
Yeah.
I was again, my nerd.
I
is-
don't know how I'm gonna
Right.
feel
This
about
Avatar
that.
is on. Okay, I know we're going from Naruto to Avatar. But
Well,
Avatar
okay.
is the one
Here's-
show I can nerd out 100% about because it's the one thing I feel.
Dang, maybe that should have been the next episode.
Well, here's what I
We'll
say.
go more into depth of Avatar.
Well, here's
will
what I
next
say.
time.
I think it's a good idea for them nowadays to like if they're gonna adapt like comic books or things like that, or anime manga.
Read,
The
yes.
read the Avatar
Main
comics,
thing,
they're
read
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
even know
I
the
think it's a good
Avatar
thing that these
comics.
days they're putting it more in TV show form now because you're able to get more of a story out there. You're able to put more characters and arcs in it
You know what?
Yeah,
instead of just like
they
bloating
really
it all into a
did.
movie.
I feel like if something is a one shot, that's something you should turn into a movie. Because at least then you'll have time to
Like
read it,
Burn the
expand on
Witch.
it. Like,
Burn the
yeah.
Witch is a one shot by the creator of Bleach. So
Right, but if it's like a
Let's get in a
multitude of
movie.
episodes, at least put it into like a TV series and have a good cast and just don't mess it up.
At the end of the day, it's a showrunner. You need a good showrunner.
At the end of the day, it's Hollywood. That's what that is.
Yeah, that too.
So getting back to Naruto.
We will
So-
be discussing more Avatar in the future. You
So-
mark my words.
Do y'all have a favorite movie?
I'm gonna say, what is it? Road
Road
To
to
Ninja.
Ninja.
to Ninja.
Every time you say that, it just sounds like he's saying Rotel Ninja. I'm like, I'm pretty sure
Road
that's
to
not what that is.
Ninja.
So I think
Probably.
my favorite's Blood Prison. So
Okay. Oh wait, what am I talking about? The last Naruto movie. Easily, whoa, sorry. That is easily my favorite because of
Because
love.
because Naruto and Hinata finally kiss.
And I
Which-
That long avoided
Right.
one.
Which I shipped for. Look, I'm not gonna
a
lie.
decade.
I shipped Naruto and Hinata for so many years that when this finally happened, I was just like,
I know it's like sweet and innocent, but I'm like, but where's the tongue action though? I'm just saying. If you're gonna wait that damn long, I'm just saying. You need to put more passion into that shit. I'm just
Hey.
saying.
Or domestic girl.
"Hey, here's what."
By the way, we're all wearing masks. For
Yeah,
the most
so-
part.
If it sounds muffled, that's what's happening.
It's going to sound muffled.
no, actually I said everywhere and it sounded fine. I had a mask
We are
on. so-
trying to,
As long as you
be
project
safe
that
here in
voice.
COVID and all that good
Yeah.
stuff. I hope you guys are all being safe. Thank you for joining us,
Yes.
by the way.
and
And
listening to the nonsense ramblings and that's what we've been doing.
the tangent.
And wash your hands.
So I also want to ask, did y'all have any favorite openings and endings from the show?
Oh God.
I don't remember the number.
Yeah,
of
I
it,
got
but
I don't
I
remember
got
the
one.
names.
Okay, I got.
I'll let
actually,
Alex take over on this one.
Yeah.
Because
I have basically a majority of them.
I remember that's all I would ever
Okay, the
say.
first three. I will say the first three.
Of
I thought they.
Naruto.
Yes.
Okay. The
So-
second one I love.
I always think the first one is just so nostalgic
So-
because it's from the beginning. It's what started the whole thing.
I got the first one, the second one, which is pretty iconic. 4 by Flow. Number 9. Last one was good. Then from Shippuden, I have 3, which is Bluebird. 4 is Closer.
That was really good. I remember that on
Yeah.
Saturday nights
Yeah.
with Adult Swim.
6 is Signed by Flow again.
Mm.
Number 8 is Diver by Nico Touches the Wall. 13, I'm not going to even try to pronounce, but it's also by Nico Touches the Wall. 16, which is Silhouette. 17, which is Kaze. And then 20, the last one of the series.
So, prior to starting the show, I was telling Cam, I was like, if I were to plug in my old iPod right now, if I could find that thing, it is literally just not only the Naruto openings for both songs. It is literally the soundtrack of just both shows on there, and I'm just like, yeah. I was like, had I had a smartphone back in the day, wow.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many songs I had on my like anime opening soundtrack list. Where it was probably I could probably go 3 days of just playing nonstop songs.
I do have a playlist on Spotify I'll share at some point, but it's just anime openings and endings. So.
Can I make a confession while we're recording right now? So I was one of those like gym rats who would work out and like people would think. Wait, let me finish. So like I'd be at the Y and people would be like, man, he must be jamming out to like Metallica or something. Like he is like going hard. I'm listening to Todoroki. I'm listening to Fruits Baskets. And just like, I'm just listening to like the happy-go-lucky kind of like pop girls and everything.
Did you say Fruits Basket?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, and I would be.
That was the first anime I got back into when I was a teenager, and I love it.
Now imagine a bunch of burly men squatting, lifting, doing. That was me. That was me. I was listening to all the like just happy. And some of them were like sad, like the sad, the outros, the sad outros.
Oh no!
Well, like I would use that, but I would use that as fuel to like just because I'm just like fight the pain, don't cry, don't cry, and people would be like, "Are you okay, bro?" I'm like, "I'm fighting the tears. Keep going, bro."
Motivation.
So the first ending to Shippuden was pretty sad. Depressing.
If you want to talk about sad, don't even get me started. I'll just go straight to Inuyasha talking about some bullshit.
Man,
that's all I'm
we're talking about ending things now.
Yes.
I can never get into endings.
But not first, my love for the opening.
I cannot get into the endings. It's only openings. I guess because it's the start of an episode.
Is it because it gets you like fired up and everything?
Okay, look, no, I will say.
Everything was on Netflix. So whenever I watched it on Netflix, you had the choice to skip the ending, and so I would skip the ending.
Okay, let me just say there's one. There's one anime ending that nobody should skip, and this one.
Love is War Season 1.
No.
He has a point.
Well,
he's actually
that's only.
But that's not the one he meant.
Yes.
We only watch that because of Chica's dance, whatever. Anyway, so no,
that is the best part.
That is a great show, and I will defend it.
Okay. Anyway, back to what I was saying. No, this is the ending to Hinamaro Sumo, which is Nani Yori by Happy Heads.
It's the most unrealistic sumo wrestling show I've. It's a comedy.
It's a sports anime about sumo wrestling, but the thing that does make
They're
it unrealistic.
They're all fucking cut. No one's fat. No one is fat.
The captain is.
The captain doesn't count.
Well, he's got like.
The captain does not count.
He's got the right body type for a sumo wrestler.
He's the only character in that show that has the right body type
and a few
to be a sumo wrestler.
And look,
everyone else looks like they're from MMA or like Joe Rogan, and I'm just like, what is this?
No, some of them are pretty thick boys.
A few of them. I'm telling you, I've watched sumo wrestling. Anyways, the show is great. It's a great fight anime, and it's about making friends and overcoming obstacles, basic shonen stuff, and overcoming limitations, heartbreak, and loss, and then overcoming loss, and the intro and the outro, which Alex and I both started on. I want to say it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we started this, and he got me into that. This is when I, kind of hit like a fat phase, and I'm like, I need motivation to like, get back into the gym. He's like, I got you, Nick, and I'm just like, what is it? And he showed me that, and I'm like, but I'm already pumped.
Real quick, going back to the endings, Maggie, the reason why I actually started watching them is, and I can't remember which YouTube said it. I'm not sure if it was Mother's Basement or someone else, but there was, which I recommend. It's really good.
He's good, but
I love him. Just the name.
Some of his stuff is really out there.
Yes, they really are.
Like it's like you hate the show. Why?
Yes.
I feel like now I'm gonna have to just get back into like all the animes I've watched before, just to be able to listen to the endings. Because if you all are getting into it that much, I feel like I'm missing out on something.
You really are.
The reason I'm into it is because. So I'm pretty sure it was him, or it could have been someone else that mentioned. He's like the reason for an opening is to get you pumped for the episode, while the ending is literally to calm you down and get ready.
Or hype you
next
back.
You know, that makes so much
Okay,
sense now.
well,
Just
here,
listening
look,
to all
this-
the endings, that makes so much sense.
It's
You
just
just always
like
made me
relax. It's
like,
like I understand you went through a lot, especially if it was a major episode. like,
Right.
Okay, hey, there's
Like,
one
you need
that.
to cry.
there's
cry.
one
There
that-
are some really good bumps. Not
Well,
gonna
no,
lie.
there's one.
Yeah.
There was one that made me feel a little more emotional than it did, relaxing. I'm not gonna lie, which was the second ending to Shield Hero.
Yes.
That, like, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I listen to that one,
Those OPs are good, by the way.
oh no, the OPs I listen to at the gym, but the ending themes, I will say, don't really remember much about the first one, but the second one, the second half of the first season, that ending, I was just like, getting kind of emotional, man. Especially when I was nearing the end of the first season, and knew that, and
The end was nigh.
the end was nigh. But I swear to God, like every time I watch that ending theme and that last shot of Raftalia cuddling up to Naofumi, just always managed to melt my stone cold heart.
He's a good dad.
So if you want another good fighting anime, is God of High School. That's really good too.
Now, you have been telling me for a month now, Nick, check this out, and I'm not trying to blow you off.
I
I've just
think
been.
I'm gonna pass on High School.
Wait, why?
It doesn't look interesting to me. That one.
I haven't even looked at the trailer.
I believe I saw the first episode and it was not for me. It's just not for me.
I just find it hard to, like, I ever want to get you into an anime, and I try so hard. Even the 6-episode anime I tried to get you to watch, I'm pretty sure you still haven't finished it.
No, I finished.
You did?
Yes.
Okay. You
Okay.
never told me.
Nick, let
Oh,
me
I
tell you
love
something.
Okay, we need a.
This baby right here needs to be taught. I don't know what.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what you
didn't
did.
feel
You
like
need to teach her-
I need
come on.
Teach her the way.
Teach her the way.
Also,
And I need to be,
we need all recommended.
Master Roshi.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Master
Okay,
Roshi. This is
so
my
here-
go-to.
Without
I'm
the
Master
touching.
Roshi. Say what?
Just without the touching.
Yeah, no. I'm Master Roshi. She's my Goku. That's purely
Here's-
professional.
Here's a big reason why.
Watch her
Because
train.
I used to, like,
Why am I Krillin?
Hey, you're gonna get with Android. Was it 18?
Yeah, 18.
Okay, you.
I'm 17.
I'm gonna-
It's
Is it-
18.
okay.
It's 18.
You're gonna get with 18, man. You're gonna get with Android 18. You have nothing to complain about. I don't want to hear you bitch about
But
it.
I don't wanna be short.
Doesn't matter. Take it. Take the deal. Take the deal. Anyways, what were you saying?
At some point, either during this or after we've got to recommend shows to
Yeah.
each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Before this is done. Or-
And for our viewers. So like,
Okay, real quick plug. Erased. I know people don't have Hulu or Crunchyroll sometimes. Erased is finally the anime. 13 episodes is on Netflix. It is a good drama thriller, which I'm not into, but it was really the stepping stone of like, oh, there's more to anime than
Yes.
shonen or adventure. It's just a good time.
So
Doesn't that have a live action movie, or am I thinking about?
There is a live action show. There are several live action movies. There's a live action show that's also from Netflix, and it's actually really good. And that one's more manga accurate, and it's really enjoyable.
So-
I'm very, very surprised.
Races, I think also on Funimation. If
It's on literally everything you can
I
find.
can probably tell you why it was good. The no American characters.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
The live action. Well, the live action movies were also Japanese, but it just wasn't good
Yeah.
because it's a movie as opposed to.
I saw the
series.
Bleach live action movie. It was alright.
No.
It was alright.
So-
No, it wasn't.
The only really good ones I can recommend live action of anime movies at least are Tokyo Ghoul and Rurouni Kenshin.
why would you take the one I was gonna do? But he's right though. I
I've been,
wholeheartedly. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, I've been avoiding. I've been like slowly. It's been popping up in my Netflix feed for a while now, and I still get to watch it. Is the Netflix Death Note? Like,
So-
Okay,
no.
now
no.
hold on, hold
And
on.
I've been avoiding
Hold
it.
on.
I just
Let me
need to
say
get back.
this. The only good one is Willem Dafoe as Ryu.
No,
That's the
Yeah,
only good
I'll give
one.
you that.
No, I will disagree. No, I'm agreeing with that statement, but saying he's the only one I disagree with.
You're right. His name is Matt Wolf, previously known from the Naked Brothers band, currently in a band, Matt and Alex.
No,
Matt Wolf.
no. But one thing I will say about the Wolf Brothers is they should recast they should recast Light with his brother Alex, because Alex Wolf can definitely act for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you've seen movies like Hereditary, the kid is a great freaking actor, and I think it would make a better Light.
TV show.
But
Your brother's band.
yeah, but anyway, back on topic. No, I think that Keith Stanfield's L
Oh,
is
yeah.
also one of the best parts of that, because, like, I will admit,
I'm a stan.
I will say I didn't know what to think of like the whole cast of this movie, because like, you know, like I just didn't even know what to think of this movie. But I will admit, Keith Stanfield was honestly like the saving grace of this dumpster fire, because the way he moved and talked was just spot freaking on as L. Like, it was almost like he was pretty much brought to life, actually. In fact, he even did his signature sitting by just squatting right there perfectly.
Like, let's give a little credit to when he announces himself to the world and he's just touching the microphone and he's just like curious, like
now here's where I do get a little critical with it.
Yeah.
As much as I do love Keith Stanfield playing as L, like
Towards the end, he becomes a bit.
now, well, yeah, like
sporadic.
there were a few characteristics that didn't exactly fit. Like when he did show himself to the world, I'm like, okay, the L from the anime wouldn't do that. He would do it like it over a computer screen, anonymous style, right there with his logo on there.
I would have loved that too if they went with the anonymous
Yeah.
kind of like.
And yes, like what you were saying.
You know which group I'm talking about, right? Anonymous.
The hacker group.
The hacktivist group. Well, okay. After the podcast,
we'll get to that
later.
And another thing, yes, is that they did make L a little too emotional in this one. Really, the only time he really showed emotion in the anime was when he realized he was about to die. You know? So I was like, that was kind of dropping the ball a bit for it there. But like I said, Keith Stanfield did just such an amazing job as him, and I will always give him credit for that. In fact, he was in a few of my favorite movies before that, even like Straight Outta Compton, and he even had a small part in Get Out as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this just cemented him as a great actor, and I'm so glad that he got his career now playing in all these other great movies.
I want to recommend one Lakeith movie, but it's the most out there movie.
Which is
Well,
It is Sorry to Bother You.
Oh, that's right.
Yes!
So you know what? I want to say something. I don't watch movie trailers. I haven't since 2014. That was because of Amazing Spider-Man. No. Yes. That was the last movie trailer I saw. Was that, and because of COVID this year, I'm not gonna lie, I have seen movie trailers because I need something. Keep it going. Watch the Batman trailer. Like I've said, Robert Pattinson is gonna kill it. Wait for me.
Or he was until he got corona.
That too. And then I was like,
so
of
it's
course.
on delay now.
So, Sorry to Bother You. I knew what type of movie it was because I didn't watch the trailer, but I knew what I was in for as soon as, I think it's like in the first 2 minutes where he makes an observation about her earrings and they just change. And right there I knew what I was in for. Did I know to what extent? No. Sorry to Bother You. Watch it, but just know you are probably going to be disturbed.
It's fun.
You're going to have questions. You're going to have laughs, maybe awkward laughs. But it's not your typical normal movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I do recommend Atlanta because he's amazing about it.
Yeah, Atlanta is really fun.
So, guys, if you need something to get you through COVID, through this pandemic, everything we've just mentioned, go
Listen
back.
to our last episodes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please.
All right. Anything else y'all want to say? Plug.
No plugs. I've done the plugs in the beginning. What about you guys?
Naruto opening 5 was my favorite.
Uh,
I had to think about that. I said, which one was it? And then I looked
Original or
at
Shippuden?
the original Naruto.
Okay.
yes, the retrieval arc.
Okay, my
Yes.
favorite opening of the original Naruto, definitely opening 2 during the Chunin exams one.
Yes.
And what I loved most about that one is that, one thing I loved most about that one's opening's visuals is how they introduced all the rest of Konoha 11 in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that, it was perfectly edited, it got you ready for the show, and
And as a Spanish speaker, I can actually pronounce the majority of that song.
So I think
Just-
my favorite was 4, Fighting Dreamers.
Just
Yes.
yeah. Well, that one was
I that one as well. So
okay.
what's
Fighting Dreamers,
really
like
interesting.
okay, yeah, that one's called Go by Flow right there.
Go by Flo.
Hey, that one was a massive upgrade from the previous one we got.
Well, see, since I didn't watch the show live, I didn't know what it was until years later. And funny enough, they just played it at Gump City Con. Like, was this last year? I don't have a concept of time anymore. And they sang it there. I believe Caleb, what was his name?
Hiles.
Hiles had a little concert there, which was finally cool meeting him. And he sang that. Everyone in like the auditorium sang along, and I was like, I don't know the lyrics to this.
Isn't that what most openings you only know like the English part and you just go with like
It's like
and then the English part?
Yeah.
it's kind of like
I go
the
back to my Spanish speaking saves me for that.
actually, the only it's like the opening to MMO Junkie. I only know Saturday Night.
MMO junkies. Okay, so my genre, I understand everyone loves the shonen, they love the horror genre. My niche is the slice of life. The slice of life genre is just so good. And when I'm even discovering more, thank God Cam recommended Wotakoi.
Yeah.
Love is
Oh
hard for
my god.
is that I'm enjoying, yes, the high school slice of life is cool, but I'm not in high school. I can't relate to these anymore, and it's just getting weirder and weirder as I'm getting older.
Have you seen Your Lie in
Thank
April?
you.
No,
What?
because I'm afraid.
What movie?
Why?
Or what show?
Well, okay, so
Your Lie in April?
So Cam's recommended that to me. So here's the thing: I watch anime because I don't express emotion.
It doesn't
I
make
need
you
to
express
let
some
out
emotion.
tears. However, the one that got me was it took me 3 times to finally watch Hana.
Yeah.
I know.
I refuse to watch it
And-
because I feel like it's going to break me.
And because, which it possibly could, but
Yeah.
because it's so hyped as being so tear jerking that it never hit me.
Man, if anything, if
Okay,
you watch
I think-
Planet all the way, I'm pretty sure you should be fine.
So
Okay, here's one
First
I would.
Night didn't really get to me as story. That's another story.
What about
That's
Angel
another one.
Beats?
Okay, Angel
Not
Beats.
really.
Angel Beats is one of my favorite anime of all time, and that's mostly because, not because of its, not all because of its quality and storytelling, but honestly, it's because Angel Beats is the anime that cemented my love for anime, because it was the first non-mainstream one that I saw. Like a little story is that when I was about 17, that was when I really got into Naruto right there. And then, I was loving that because it was like the first anime I really got into right there that wasn't like, what was just happened to be on Toonami when we all got back from school. This was me actually getting into it. But Angel Beats was the first one that I saw that was not mainstream, and I swear to God, I just fell in love with it. And the ending I will admit here, it got me. And it got me. Now,
So that's a good question.
It-
What was your first? You can continue on. What was your first anime that got you that was a mainstream?
okay, well, it was Angel Beats for me, and that ending scene, I will openly admit here, it caused me to cry so hard that I felt a little pain in my chest right there.
So
Like,
mine's actually
There's
a
nothing wrong with that. You should
movie.
cry. Let the emotion.
Grave of the Fireflies. That's the first one that really got
Is
me.
that the Miyazaki?
Mhm.
It's done by
Studio Ghibli.
it's the one that takes place during World War II.
it's done by Ghibli, but it wasn't directed by Miyazaki.
I got spoiled the ending, and I think that one would have broken me.
That one broke me.
I got the ending spoiled.
Yeah, I got
Let
spoiled.
me ask you a question. So, just so I can answer this properly,
Okay.
what do you guys define as mainstream?
Yeah.
Okay. Your Naruto, your Dragon Ball
Something
Z.
overhyped, if anything.
Normally, I want to
Attack on Titan, My
I'm
Hero
gonna-
Academia.
This is the one that really introduced me to anime. It was Sword Art Online, but I consider
Okay.
that mainstream as well.
Now, when
Yeah.
you say hooked, okay, so like that got you into the anime.
Yes. That
Okay.
one was a good, like it wet my feet, and then the next one for me was
I
I
don't
feel like
know.
the
if
movie?
you put like an analogy to it, it's like if somebody
So,
throws like
hey,
some
I don't
breadcrumbs
know.
and a one bird
Yeah.
shows up and then 1,000 of them start and then some million come in. It's like I feel like that's what mainstream does to people.
My Hero.
Okay,
Attack
so
on
mine,
Titan.
mine is a two-food. It
Fairy
was like
Tail.
this happened in the same night. It was Saturday night, Toonami. I was spending the night with a friend. His older brother just left, the TV on. Just like, oh, we're gonna go see what's going on in his room. And the first thing we saw was Rurouni Kenshin and Fooly Cooly. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm like, I was like, this isn't like Billy and Mandy. This isn't SpongeBob. I'm like, it's animated, but it is not
a cartoon.
Yeah, it is not a cartoon. And after that, I was like, this is it. This is it.
It took me a while to see the show for Rurouni Kenshin because I just read like the books. And I read like the big old thick manga volumes. I was like, it's a show now? I was like,
I will say the way Nick described that does remind me of like when I was like in my tiny child mind thinking like comparing like normal cartoons that I'd be watching to like to anime.
Yeah. Let's not pretend Toonami didn't put us on to like most of the stuff we enjoyed.
Hey.
Like Family Guy and all that stuff like that.
Well, hey, we can all.
Adult Swim.
Thank
you. Thank God for Adult Swim. That's my plan. Check out Adult Swim.
I think one part of Toonami we can all remember is the host played by the man
Tom.
The man.
Tom.
Legend,
Those
Stephen
intros.
Yeah. Oh.
And the commercials and intermissions. And when he was introducing,
you know what I mean.
Okay, 9 o'clock, we have Naruto, and you know he would just tell you about like
the coolest man ever. Just sit there tell you about everything, playing with shit,
and with everything that you need to know.
Tom from Toonami and Tom from MySpace. The Toms that we needed. We needed three.
No. The Toms.
Your one friend when you didn't have
The Toms we
else.
needed, but not what we deserved.
Right.
They were the heroes we needed, though.
All right. I think it was a good